it takes so much longer and it's so much harder than you think it will be. But once you get to a tipping point, it all happens at once, you know, like it starts going. And like the goal is to become an overnight success in 10 years or so. Not that big of a deal, you know, like most people are not going to remember.
Yeah, nobody really cares. No.
Oh, you know what's something I forgot when I was talking about my goals?
Yeah.
That's probably, dude, honestly, watching back the video and like going through it, I'm like, fuck, should I even post this? But then I'm like, yes, obviously I have to, right? Because like that's the whole point. That I can look back in 52 weeks and be like, who's that guy? But I was looking at it and I was like, oh my God, I'm so red. I'm so red and sweaty and disgusting. And I was a little drunk and we just came from the gym. We always film these after the gym. So I was like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. I was like, fuck it, you know, that's the whole point.
I didn't even notice you were that red. But then
you'll
again,
see it.
Yeah. I'll see it.
Yeah, so, but I think 4 days being bald now, January 4th, 2025, I feel like I've gotten overwhelming support.
People want to see you win, baby.
They do, which is nice.
It is nice. I guess life now is mostly based in online community.
Based.
Yeah,
True. And I started reading, oh fuck, it's not here. Whatever. I started reading Atomic Habits. You start reading I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I think we're doing pretty good. I have not skipped a single day working out since the new year started.
I will plead the fifth on that one.
That's all good, you know. I think you already look great, you know. I'm the one who needs to lose a couple pounds. Yeah, it's been going great.
I think so. I think we've been doing great. I skipped the gym yesterday, but I'm not too upset about it. I know when I go to the gym, I hit it hard, and I took a long walk yesterday.
Hell yeah, brother. That counts.
That counts,
yeah. Gotta get your steps in.
Small wins, you know. Can't abandon the goal when something goes awry, if that's the right word. I need to improve my vocabulary to my 2025 goals.
Yeah, that could be another one. That could be another goal, you know, improve the lexicon.
I know. If you know me, then you know I have problems writing and talking, actually.
Well, I mean, don't say things like that. That's literally one of the points in Atomic Habits, the book I've been reading. It's like, stop defining yourself by your negative features, you know. Stop saying shit like, oh, I'm just bad at math, or, oh, I just have a bad lexicon or vocabulary or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, stop saying things like that. Step 1. Step 2, improve. Because it's a lot easier to, for example, we stopped smoking cigarettes 2 years ago. You know, it's a lot easier to not take a cigarette when somebody offers it to you because, and I quote, I'm not a smoker, as opposed to I'm trying to quit. You know, oh, no, thank you, I'm trying to quit. Because that identifies you as still being a smoker who is trying really hard not to be. But like, just saying the words, I'm not a smoker, is already a better step in the right direction. Because will you grab Atomic Habits for me real quick? I bought it secondhand from some lady at a grocery store. So it doesn't come with the original cover. Skål. Further.
I think an interesting quote, I think I first heard it from Layla Hormozi. Shout out the Hormozis. I'm gonna butcher this, but I'm gonna try and do it justice. But basically, they say growth happens not at all, and then all of a sudden. I did not do that correctly.
Close enough. I got it.
Yeah.
Found it. Okay. Atomic Habits. Oh, okay. So I really, really, really like this fucking quote. That was my page holder. The word identity was originally derived from the Latin word essentietas, which means being, and identitem, which means repeatedly. So your identity is literally just repeated beingness. You know, whatever you keep doing, whatever systems you do, that is just who you are at that point. The goal is not to read a book. The goal is to become a reader. The goal is not to run a marathon. The goal is to become a runner. The goal is not to learn an instrument. It is to become a musician. You know, you're simply acting like the type of person you already believe yourself to be.
That's beautiful.
This shit is fucking gold. But it doesn't mean shit if you don't apply it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've read it before, and which is why, like, I have 12 books on my list that I need to read this year. This is one of the ones that I've already read, and I just need to reread it.
Well, mine is mostly focused on personal finance, and I'm reading very attentively, so I am still on chapter 1. So chapter 1 is all about credit card utilization and managing your debt. So overall, I feel like we manage our debt already pretty good, but nonetheless the information in there is still very valuable because he talks about negotiating and getting the best out of your credit cards in this case. But I feel like that obviously applies to more than just your credit cards. He talks about making ridiculous requests. They're gonna say no, probably. But what if they say yes? So I think that's pretty good in general in life. It doesn't just apply to calling up your credit card company and asking them to waive all the fees, all the late fees. And he gives scripted advice. Apparently, you can negotiate your way down to a lower APR. Saying that, it seems obvious, right? But it wasn't obvious to me. Like, I would never have thought of calling up a credit card company and being like, hey, you approved me for a 8% APR, but how about you offer me 14? You know, that's not something I feel most people think of as a possibility of doing. But he presents it as a easy call. And yeah, they may say no, but they may say yes. I'm actually excited to get into the second chapter that I think is going to be about investing in retirement.
Yeah, which I've never thought about ever. Like, I'm 27, I've never really thought about retirement or anything like that. Like, even in Suriname, I was just like, whatever, man, I'm making money now, I'm spending money now. Like, it's just literally never been anything I've thought about ever.
Yeah.
We've only been here in America for a little bit, but as soon as we got here, it was just like, oh no, it's just a completely different atmosphere. And it's not like the Americans are just better at investing or retirement or anything like that. They're clearly not, right? On average.
It's because they don't have resources available. I mean, yeah, you can also say, well, they do. They have YouTube. We learned it. You have books, right?
Yeah, I feel like they're just not hungry for it. Like, nobody, like, for example, if you're brought up by rich parents, you're much more likely to be successful because they know which resources to point you at. You know, it's not just that they give you the money.
Right.
They can teach you about money, which is way more valuable, just as like this guy says. Look at his stupid little face.
I think it's also important to realize the aspect of you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a lot harder to find direction and find the right resources if you're not if you don't know what you're looking for. For instance, like I've had an HSA account, which is a health savings account, for years. And that's an investment account. I was unaware of that. That's my ignorance. But
yeah, a lot of people. Yeah, I was watching a YouTube video on Roth IRAs and whatnot, and they say that's also one of the top beginner mistakes, where they just put money into the Roth IRAs and then they just think it's going to invest itself.
Right.
But then they forget it for 4 years, and then it's just depreciated with time, and it's not done anything.
Yeah, and
it's very common beginner mistake. Also, something I realized with like the last video we did is that it's also like kind of a good way to keep contact / like updating our families, because we're like 5,000 miles away from home, and we're so busy, we're so like focused on our goals, you know, we're trying to do these things, we're trying to get money, eventually get a house, and like all of that. If you go on social media, specifically American social media, every other scroll, it's just like negative. It's just like, I'm never going to be able to afford a house. I'm never going to be this, that. Like, I'm never going to be rich, blah, blah. Like, all of that. Almost everybody has lost hope, you know? And, like, I get it. America is a dumpster fire. Facts, right? But also, that's not helping. You know, like having that constant scroll of like fucking desperation and sadness is just not helping in any way, shape, or form. So I've also like tried to be less on social media. I have like limits on how long I can be on it per day, and then it just shuts off. Like, that's an option in your phone. I have limits like, oh, if it's 10 p.m., these apps are locked, you can't use them. Of course, it's like really easy to just hit ignore, but I'm trying not to. And like, even if I'm on there, I'm trying to like hit not interested on like negative garbage shit, but also just doom scrolling garbage memes, which are so funny. It's so much harder to not look at funny little memes and make my brain go haha. You know, it's fucking ridiculous, but
You don't need memes. I make you laugh all the time.
is this true? You've been wanting to make a video or videos for a long time, right? Like you keep trying to, I guess me too, but like you keep trying to like push me towards, oh, we should make a video, we should do this, we should do that.
Oh, you noticed?
And
I wasn't sure if you were noticing that.
And I'm always like, yeah. And then we just never do it. And I'm just like, oh, I'm just such a lazy and shy person, man. But I feel like the overwhelm. First of all, thanks for pushing me towards like starting to do it, starting to make the video. But then also the overwhelming support of like everybody just saying nice things. Like it doesn't even matter if they subscribe, but just like saying one nice little thing. People like called me, they're like, yo, are you bald now, bro? Ah! And like Norma was like, oh, my boy's a YouTuber now. I'm like, you know, so it's like, it's actually really nice. It has not been as cringe as I thought it would be, but it's still cringe, you know? It's just cringe enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like this time it's a little harder, cringier for me.
I mean, I'm not drunk, so that doesn't help either, but I'm trying not to drink until like, I don't know. I'll try to go as long as possible, I guess, but the longest I've ever gone without drinking is 2 years. I don't know if I got it in me to beat that. Is this? Oh, this is exactly what you were mentioning about Layla as well. Let's see. Move your head behind it so it focuses on the book. You think it's got it?
Probably right. Who knows?
I'm gonna say yes.
You might have to just make a close-up of the book.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Is the plateau of latent potential. Even today I got a reel because I'm trying to fix my algorithm to only show me like workout, health, and fitness type stuff. And I got a reel from Sam Sulek. And he said the same thing where he's like, if you're dieting just for a little bit and then you give up and then you decide, okay, I got to diet. And you diet just for a little bit and you give up. You never actually get to the point where your body has time to adjust and start working for you, you know? Mm-hmm. The same thing with the plateau of latent potential. It goes like that for everything, you know? Building muscle, losing fat, building a business, everything. It takes so much longer and it's so much harder than you think it will be. Mm-hmm. But once you get to a tipping point, it all happens at once, you know? Like it starts going. And like what I like to think about in working for my boss and watching a lot of Alex's content, what I like to think about nowadays, the way I like to think about it is also the goal is to become an overnight success in 10 years or so. Like when it does happen all at once, everybody will notice and be like, whoa, what the heck? That's crazy, dude. But it's also because nobody's paying attention to you. Nobody cares. And that's like a plus, I feel like. The fact that nobody cares. We were talking about Chappelle Roan as well. Mm-hmm. The fact that she has like such, like Pink Pony Club is like 6 years old or something like that. But it's still on her newest album. And I think it's also because she's had all that time out of the spotlight where she wasn't as famous as she is now. Mm-hmm. To hone her craft and get better at it, and like she has her whole aesthetic now with the makeup and the dancing and everything and all of that, and the lipstick on the teeth on purpose and the big hair. But you watch the video for Pink Pony Club and she doesn't have all that yet, but you can see like that she's like getting there eventually. It's just the confidence to keep failing over and over again because nobody cares and nobody's watching, and even if they are, they'll probably be nice, right? They've tried things and failed.
Most people are nicer than you think they are.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Like we expect people to be very rough and mean to us, but
it turns out that's just me. I'm just a meanie, you know? No, most people are actually really, really surprisingly nice.
Well, the people I have contact with in America, I would say they have a pretty solid social life. I think we are the ones who are the socially isolated, the outliers of the group of people around us. And I think we need to pay attention to how we describe the world and if we are just projecting our lives into the world, which is a very human thing to do. I am certainly guilty of doing it. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why I have that need for approval as well, and fear of judgment, and why I'm always scared of doing like weird stuff in public and not confident in styling myself. because I know for a fact I can be a little bit of a judgmental person, and I will project that onto people I don't even know and assume they will judge me as I judge them. like I am a very self-aware person. It's not enough to just be self-aware, you know. It's not enough
Have to be other aware.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. Yeah, no, I guess I do the same to a certain extent, because like I try not to judge for the most part. Like even when I do, I try not to. Like I'll catch myself thinking a negative thing, but I'm also like, I don't know these people, I don't know their lives, like whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But also the other end of that spectrum, I also just like do not care that much about other people and their lives when it comes to like people that I see walking around, and I feel like they probably don't care about mine, which is fine, which is why I'm much more likely to be fine with going out in like what I consider to be kind of like more extreme outfit, or like interesting pants or avant-garde pants, or whatever. It's not that big of a deal, you know, like most people are not going to remember.
Yeah, nobody really cares.
Nobody really cares.
But everyone
man.
cares in my mind.
That's called schizophrenia. Just kidding.